Buddy Health. Brianna, come on in, everybody. Welcome to another episode. We aren't even doing the intro or anything like that. Y'all, we're just going to get into it because there's a lot going on in the news. I want to get into that Voters' Right Act, but first, let's get into some other things. The Devil Wears Prada 2 opened up this weekend, y'all. Phenomenal opening. Phenomenal. Over 200 million in the first weekend. That is phenomenal. That is one of my favorite movies. The Devil Wears Prada 1 is one of my favorite movies. It's a movie that I actually purchased for myself. And I talked about this. Devil Wears Prada, Fifth Element, The Godfather. Those are my top favorite movies. Fifth Element, Gladiator, another one that I purchased. Just some favorites. Those are just some of my favorite movies. So I was elated to find out that they would be doing a sequel to it. So let me know as you are coming in if you went to see either Michael or The Devil Wears Prada this weekend, because it did open up. Now I have to go into my It is what it is. Shauna Robin, it is what it is this morning. All right. So this is what we are talking about. The Devil Wears Prada. Who went to see it this weekend? My hands are all, y'all got to give me a moment. I can't have my hands because they're going to be itching me and stuff. Give me a moment. I'm still here. I just got to get some oil. Oh. I just realized as I am talking to y'all, I didn't even lotion up, y'all. Do y'all have to lotion up every day? You know what happens to my skin if I don't put lotion on it, y'all? I start looking like a snake. My legs start scaling up and all of that. I can't be looking like that. You calling yourself trying to have somebody. Don't nobody want to be all up under you and you looking like a snake. So I have to put that. I got to make sure I oil myself up, Levert. I got to make sure I oil myself up. I can't be out here looking all crazy. But this morning, again, I didn't get out the bed until late. And then I got responsibilities that I have before I even get on this live, y'all. So that's where your girl at this morning. So this weekend, I did not go out to the movies. Didn't get a chance to do that because, again, responsibilities. I got responsibilities that I have on the weekend, Marco 17 Polo. But I did get to go to a very, very nice event. I'm so happy that I was invited to speak there. I actually opened it up. Big shout out to Winter Peace. Big shout out to Tatiana. Y'all did your big thing. And what I loved about this event, I'm going to try and pull it up. So if you are rocking with me on YouTube, then you'll be able to see some of what I'm about to show right now from the event. I'm actually going to go to The Kids Are Sleeping. Oh boy. To their Facebook page to find some of the videos, and hopefully I can. Okay, yep. Here we go. They did their big one. They did a really great thing. The videos, the pictures, everything came out so beautifully. If you are not watching with me again on YouTube, then you won't be able to see this, but you can always go and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. I'm Nautica and Shauna Robinson. You can do that as well. This event, it was a pull up and give back, which was so phenomenal because it focused on the creatives and just giving back to the community. And you were encouraged to just bring donations, which, a lot of people did. People bring donations. And just to give back, because you never know what people don't have. I remember when my mom passed away and a friend of mine had said, because I was like, what am I going to do with all of her stuff? Because the kids had already, everybody said what they wanted. And then there was still a lot of stuff already there because we're all housekeeping ourselves. So we already had a lot of this stuff. And a friend of mine was like, just put it downstairs in the common area because you don't know how many people that live in this building may not have stuff like there, especially as far as our men. Our men will just have a bed and a cot, like a cot and a chair, and they're good. But they make in a pot. You know what I mean? So I put that stuff down there. And when I tell you that stuff went, by the time we put the stuff down there, went back in the elevator to get another load. Now I'm like, man, this stuff will be here all weekend. And then I'm going to have to, Monday, we're going to have to pull it all out. By the time we went back upstairs and got another load of stuff, y'all, that stuff was gone. So I was like, man, you never know what people may need. And some of us are prideful. I know I am. I am very prideful. It is a superpower, and also it is my kryptonite, because that pride comes before the fall. Trust and believe. It does. So being prideful like that is not always a good thing. But I was happy. So I just want to play a clip of myself with the beautiful Winter Peace. Yeah, during the she was doing the videos, doing the interviews right before the event started. And then I want to talk a little bit about the event and how much I enjoyed being there, and because the vibe, it's always the vibe for me, y'all, because I'm such an energy person and I can feel the vibe. Y'all, listen, y'all can act like y'all can fake the funk, but when I get that vibe, listen. The vibe is everything. So let's play a little bit of this.
And of course, with your girl Winter Peace and the TKRS Network, we are live tonight with a pop-up and gift back with your girl Ty. And I have tonight with me one of the speakers of the night, who's going to share a little bit and introduce herself for us. So who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Queen? My name is Vet Green, the CEO of Greenleaf World Entertainment. So make sure y'all subscribe to the channel because we are growing. And I'm doing big things in 2026. I turned 50 in January, and I decided, you know what? It's time to change my life immediately. Okay, so that's what I'm working on. I'm glad to be speaking here today.
Of course, and we are so happy to have that here. She is definitely a big staple in the city and has been for a time now. Her encouraging words, her presence always uplifts the room. So we are definitely glad to have you here for one of the speakers of the night, for the give back to the community that we have here. And of course, shout out to you guys for always staying tuned. And we out.
So let me just get into the event, y'all. So it was not a huge event. It wasn't, but it was small, it was intimate, and it was full of encouragement. These last couple of events that I went to at the same venue, I don't know if it's the venue or not. I even spoke with the owner of this venue, and she asked me, do you get that feeling? I'm like, yes, like this is the second event that I went to at this venue, and it's just like a feeling of not competitiveness, just everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. Come up and do your big thing or your small thing. Even if you have if you're full of nerves, come up, because we're going to still support you. In these last couple of events that I went to at this venue, it's been just like that. It's just been full of love and support, and you do not have to have it all. And I saw some who, like this gentleman right here. This gentleman right here, he was full of nerves. But when I tell you, I can hear that his music is like, he got it. Like I can hear he was full of nerves. You can tell, because everybody, this is why I believe that artist development is still required. And I also feel that stage presence is also a requirement, y'all. It's not enough that you can just do music, just like it's not enough that I can just get up here and talk to y'all. This is just not enough. I need to make it better. So we constantly have to make our craft. We have to better our craft. So when he got up there, and I'm listening to him, I'm listening to his because I always listen to the music, y'all. I want to hear what you're saying. And I'm listening to him, and I can tell you wrote this. Oh, you talking about what you got going on in your life, because I hear it. Each song, and he must have did like 5 songs, y'all. And I tell you, out of all of them 5 songs, I like them all. I truly enjoyed all of them, because he was telling me a story. This young man was telling me a story about what he was going through in his life, and I can hear it in the music, and that is what sets people apart for me. When you can tell people who write and people who, I don't know, I can always tell the difference between people who are truly writing from their heart. Like Winter Peace, I can tell that she's writing that stuff. She's talking about the things that she's actually going through in life, the F stuff that didn't happen in my life. Just like him, he's talking about the things, and I'm going to post some videos later on, like I said, this weekend was a bit hectic for me. So I got a bunch of videos that I have not put out yet. The Preacher's Virtue and Shaquille the Barber, Michael Berry. But I can say I truly enjoyed myself. And I can tell some of those who they have the talent, they have that the lyricism, but you need that stage presence. And then you have some people like Imani. Imani got that stage presence. You couldn't tell this young lady, this beautiful queen. Okay, let me go ahead and put up a picture of her. You could not tell this queen that she wasn't in front of 10,000 people. Kept the smile. You know what I mean? Kept the smile. Beautiful. She just has that stage presence. This queen right here is ready for the stage. She moving and grooving. You couldn't tell her that she wasn't in front of 10,000 people because she got that stage presence. I loved it all. There were a few other people out there. There was another one, and forgive me if I don't know all of the names. I'm just going through some of these pictures that's on. I did not get to hear this one. Listen, y'all, because I ended up leaving because it kind of started late. That's another thing about some of these events. Shebo Lottie, you know what, Shebo Lottie got me. I'm wondering, so she get up to do her set, because I'm always go rock and wait for Shebo. I don't give a doggone. If she one of the last acts, I guess I'm going to just be there waiting to the last act, because I'm going to always support those from my hometown of Lackawanna, New York. Okay, I have waited around for Shebo Lottie. I keep about to say her real name. I've waited around for Shebo Lottie to perform. So I was so happy to see her. And she kept on saying, I used to be a rapper. And I'm sitting there like, because I'm waiting for her to do her big thing. You know, Shebo Lottie usually have the people out there twerking and all of that. Well, she wasn't lying. She came with some R&B stuff. And I was like, and it was good. She rapped along with some tracks that are very well known, and she sounded fantabulous doing it. These are just some of the pictures. Big shout out to the kidsaresleek.net. Y'all did your big thing. The pictures and all of that. Carlito Smooth, man, big ups to you. Him and his queen was there, and I love to see when these venues are filled with not only the artists and the creators, but the people who love them as well. And his queen was right there by his side when it was time for Carlito Smooth to perform. She was up there. We up there next to each other, you know, taking videos and stuff. She filming her dude. That is what I'm talking about. Carlito Smooth. I told him, I said, I got to get you in my chair, because one thing I have noticed about Carlito Smooth is that he's in the know. I said, you're going to be the person that people looking for to find out what the talent is here in Buffalo, because he's definitely in the know. Not only that, he's an artist himself. And I was happy that he performed some dope songs, you know, Carlito, I got the videos out there. He does some collaborations as well, y'all. But I was just so happy that everybody just came and performed, and it did not matter how big the crowd was. It was y'all came and y'all did y'all big thing, and that's what it's all about. That's what I'm most proud about this event and the other event that Divine the rapper had did a couple of weeks back that I had went to, because what I'm seeing, y'all, is that there's creatives out here trying to get seen, trying to get known, but at the same time, y'all, this is what I want to tell y'all. Those of you who may get discouraged because there's not a lot of people showing up, or you may get discouraged because there's not a lot of people supporting you, continue to go to events like this. Continue to do that. Continue to pop up and show up, because you are going to get that's how you're getting your experience, right? You need that stage presence. You need to know how to perform in front of people. Some of you do not have that performance style. You just don't. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just a work in progress. That's just something remember how I always talk about when a storm comes through and blows the trees and stuff? What falls are the limbs that are weak, that can't sustain the storm. Those are the things that break off. In order to get strong in those areas, you have to work on it. And in order to work on it, you have to do performances. And you want to go to some of these performances that's not going to charge you. Yes, there are performances that charge. You know, there was a performance. There was an event a few weeks back where there was you know, there was some talk about it. I even talked about it on my show, some of the backlash about it. But you also want to support some of these events that are free to you, because even though there may be 20 people in the room, those 20 people are your crowd. Make it 20,000 in your mind, like Imadi did. Make it 20,000 and perform, right? Do better, more, perform. That's all I'm saying, y'all. So big shout out to Winter Peace and Tatiana. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all did y'all thing. I'm looking forward to any other events that y'all put on. I know Divine the Rapper has some things going on. What's going on, beautiful Tracy Roberson? Oh, if you'd like to join this morning, I could have definitely sent you, or you can join over here. I just put this live together. Woke up late. It was a busy weekend for me this morning, y'all. It was a busy weekend for me, but a great weekend. And I'm proud of myself that even though I did not want to get up this morning and do this live, I'm still doing it. So what are we talking about, y'all? We're going to be talking about the politics and all of that. Oh, I gotta turn it this way. We're going to be talking about the politics and all of that. But first, I want to ask y'all, again, did anybody go see Michael, or did anybody go see A Devil Wears Prada this weekend? My sister and my daughter went to see Michael, and my daughter called me after she had came out the theater, and she was like, "Mom, her now, mind you, growing up, her favorite artist was Michael Jackson. I remember when I had to tell my baby that he had passed away. Lord, that was a time, because she had the Michael Jackson posters and all of that. You couldn't tell this child, she truly is a 90s baby. Truly is a 90s baby. She listened to the same music that you would think this girl was 50 years old, but she not. How many of y'all who was growing up in the 90s listen to the same music, or even how many of y'all listen to the same music that your parents listened to? Because my child listened to the same music. She loved Mary J. Blige just as much as I do. This girl is an old soul, I swear. I don't know if my godmother Becky really got her like really how do they say when, because she came out loud just like my godmother Becky as well. And I remember Becky got on my nerves when I was pregnant with her. She would come wake me up, and then when my child was born, she would come wake her up. And I'm like, oh, what do they say when they whatever it is? I can't think of what that word is right now, but she blessed her with that. And she loved music just like my godmother and my mother loved music. And my godmother would sing. All three of them would be up there singing. My little two-year-old daughter would be up there singing with my godmother and my mother. So this is why she loved music. On top of that, her dad. Anywho, y'all, she said the movie was it was phenomenal. It also, which I heard, she said it did leave a spot open just in case they want to do a second part. So I can't wait to see it. We did not get to see Michael this weekend, but I am definitely hoping that we can do like a matinee. I want to go see A Devil Wears Prada and Michael, y'all. I want to see Michael first, and then I want to see A Devil Wears Prada, because I want to see what's going on. I want to see how well they portrayed Michael Jackson. And from what my sister and my daughter said, they did a really good job. My daughter said that his nephew, Jermaine's son, I can't think of his name right now, y'all. Forgive me. Put it in the chat if y'all can remember his name. He has a different name. Let me pull it up here. The movie Michael. What is the nephew's name? My daughter said he nailed it. Just nailed it. Ooh, there's a 12:20 show today. Yeah. Did y'all know that Antoine Fuqua is the director of this movie? Yes. He is the director. Some of the producers are John Branca, Graham King, and John McClane. Screenplay done by John Logan. Right now, Jafar, that's his name, Jafar Jackson. He is he's the nephew who portrays Michael. And my like I said, my daughter said he did a wonderful job at portraying his uncle. Now, if you saw any of the interviews that Jafar had done, he said that he was not readily given this part, y'all. It wasn't just given to him just because for the sake of blood relation. No, he had to work at it for 2 years before he found out if he had gotten the part. Now, what I wonder, everybody, is how much his father and his other relatives helped him, because they remember, I mean, they were there with Michael when he was growing up. Michael was one of the younger brothers. So they could truly have, impacted how well he did on top of his own talent. But I am definitely looking forward, Ruben, to going to see this movie, Michael. And I'm so happy that someone who looks like us actually helped bring this to life. And what a great job I'm hearing was done. And they portrayed Michael before all the things that were going on with the skin. And I'm not even going to get into that because I just don't want to. I just don't want to today. But yeah, y'all, they said it Quintrell, they said it was such a good movie. Haven't heard anything other than the numbers about Devil Wears Prada. The opening weekend, they grossed over 200 million. Over $200 million in the opening. Let's see. Where's Prada 2? Let's see, numbers. All right, let's see what they're doing. Yeah. So The Devil Wears Prada dominated the box office in its opening weekend, generating an estimated $233.6 million worldwide. That is fantabulous. That is fantabulous for them, especially being that this is a sequel, everybody. Like, you know how old The Devil Wears Prada is? This movie is what, 15, 20 years old? It is old, because I remember watching this movie literally when my kids were still very, very young. Grand rising to you, Janetta, when they were still younger at home. Like, I literally had all my kids at home. I feel when Devil Wears Prada 1 came out. Let me see, Devil Wears Prada 1. Let me see, what year did that movie come out? (2006), 20 years ago. 20 years ago. That is crazy. And that movie is still iconic to me. 20 years ago. If that movie comes on, I'm still watching it. That's how much I love that movie. That's wow. 20 years in the making. 20 years later, and it can bring that's how much you know a movie was done well. Wow. 20 years later. 2006. Oh, that's still, I love that movie. It just brings smiles to my mouth just thinking about it. Anywho, y'all, moving on, because we got to talk about some things. I wanted to find out, did y'all hear about Kendrick? Kendrick Lamar now holds 27 Grammys, surpassing none other than Jay-Z with 25. So Kendrick now is officially the top of the rap Grammy leaderboard. Big shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Man, Kendrick Lamar is definitely one of the favorites in my family across the board. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Jay-Z, Biggie, one of the favorites. Depending on who you're talking to, one may be a favorite higher than the other. Kendrick Lamar, I say it's a light skin, dark skin thing, but you know what? Because one of my sons like like J. Cole more than they like Kendrick. Like J. Cole is first and Kendrick is second. And the other one is vice versa. Kendrick is first and J. Cole is second. But I'll be like, let me find out it's a light skin, dark skin thing. For real. But still, proud of Kendrick. What I love about Kendrick and what I feel like Kendrick has emulated is that you do not have to be all out and open publicly with your life in order to still have people appreciate your craft. He's not out and I don't even know if he has the type of social media because I don't follow Kendrick Lamar on social media or anything like that. Don't even really know if he has one, because I just truly enjoy his message to the world and his willingness to fight for what's right and to talk about it and put it in an art that other people can overstand, to put it in an art form like that. Like, he's genius. He's genius with that. And big shout out to him. Definitely deserving of it all. Kendrick Lamar is deserving of it all. And he's not out here trying to be somebody that he's not. He's truly for the culture. I think he's shown that time and time again. I believe he's shown that through his music, through his work. He's shown that. So who else than Kendrick to surpass Jay-Z? Why not? Okay, Jay-Z's held it for a very long time. Why not Kendrick Lamar? So right now, trending on social media, because I wanted to know, because I didn't want to get into all the politics and stuff first before we talk about what's going on on social media. I wanted to kind of, Janetta, depending on how your weekend was, you may not want to have all that heavy news, boo, right? You may not want to have all that heavy news right away. So right now, trending on social media, people are leaning into smaller, authentic communities. Private groups and real connections are winning over big audiences, which brings me back to my weekend. My last couple of weekends when I went to these events, they were smaller, intimate affairs. And if this is what's truly happening, it makes sense why I tend to enjoy those events a lot more than I do the bigger ones that just seem to be a cluster F. They do. Because a lot of times what you don't know in these events, which is what the thing that I don't like about them, they tend to start late, because y'all artists, creators, we tend to be late, right? We tend to be late. It's not good when you have people coming to see you, though. So get better with that. Now you have the people who are throwing the event waiting around for you to show up, because the event cannot start without you. So do better at that. But those smaller events where you can actually talk to the people tend to fare better for me. And that's just my opinion. And based on what's trending right now on social media, I think that's what people are looking for. People are looking more for authenticity, especially with AI, everybody. You can't tell what's authentic and not authentic these days. So people are looking more at, let me connect to something that's real. I don't even have to know this person personally, but I want to connect to something that's real, that makes me feel that I am sane, that makes me feel that what I have going on, I'm not the only one that has this thing going on. That's what people are looking for. People are looking for those type of communities. So if that is you, you need to come on and join Green Links World Entertainment, okay? Go on and subscribe to the channel, like, share, follow. If you are over here on TikTok, go ahead and follow, because that's what you're going to get here. I am not somebody, y'all, I'm truly an introvert. I don't even like huge crowds. I don't. I like those more small, intimate, where I can talk to people, where I can get to know people. I want to know, what is it that drives you to do what it is that you are doing? I want to know those things. I want to talk to you, Patty. I want to know, what have you gone through that brought you to this space that you're in right now? And those artists that's making those music, like the young man that I showed, I definitely want to know, what were you going through in your life that you made that type of music? Because if you listen to the music, and I have quite a few videos of his, because I was loving the songs. I was loving the songs. And Reek Gill, I want to know that. But you can't find that out if you're in a venue with thousands of people. You can't even really have a true connection when you're in a venue that size. So I love the authentic, smaller communities. I'm going to continue building communities across my social media pages, whether you're on Green Links World Entertainment or the Vet Green Show page on Facebook, which I'm working on, y'all. But those are communities, India and Ada, Reek Gill. Those are communities, because we need that. I feel like the human connection has been so lost due to the divide and division that has been programmed into the world to look down on people based on what they look like, to cast aside people based on what their financial well-being is. Lovely Lisa. We've gotten away from just the human connection. On top of that, we have more of this. What we're doing right now, we're connecting through social media. We're connecting through a digital device. So that human connection that we need in order to thrive is being lost. So people are looking more for those human connections, a way to feel back whole, because you cannot feel whole if you are not connecting with real people, if you are not feeling that human connection. That's why we're so depressed, y'all. Have you wondered why why depression is on the rise? If you look at these statistics for the younger generation, the depression is more prevalent within them because they really don't feel a connection, because they've grown up in this digital world. They've grown up where they can meet friends thousands of miles away over in Japan, but they really can't connect with them. They can't do this. They can't touch. They can't feel. So the only connection they have is this. Well, we as human beings don't thrive like that, Andrew. We cannot thrive like that. We need human connection. So I am telling everybody, including myself, that get out and meet some people. Get out and talk with some people. Go to some of these events that's going on in your area. Here in Buffalo, there seems to be an event every weekend. Every weekend, there's some type of event going on where you can go out and meet real people. Now I know you it's like, man, but the crime, I get it, because there's some venues it's like, man, depending on where it's at, I'm side eyeing it. Depending on who's throwing it, I'm side eyeing it as well. That's just me. That's just me. I've gotten bitten and man, in this industry, and it made me want to leave it entirely. And then I was like, man, God gave you the dream, Latoya, right? God gave you the dream. So how dare you get discouraged just because you met some people who just don't rock with your vibe? So you're going to get that, everybody. In these 50 years that I've had, and in these last 5 years that I've been working on building up what you see now, I've met some people who just don't rock with my vibe. And at first I was like, well, dang, I'm coming with love. Well, everybody's not able to receive what it is that you have, that no matter how well you present it, everybody is not willing to receive that love that you have. And that took me aback, because when I came back from Chicago, y'all, and I saw what was going on, starting with the Bam Fam. When I saw them on that stage at the 716 Music Awards, you couldn't tell me. Like, that lit me on fire. Between them and 14 Mafia, that opened up my eyes to what was going on here in Buffalo. And I fell in love, and the love just continues to increase, because I'm like, man, the talent that is here. But I also have to remember that we are all coming from a place of, when you're coming from the hood, y'all, it's hard, because there's a lot of broken pieces in the hood. And many of what I found when we coming from the same place, and we all don't have the same experiences. Like, my hood experience is not as graphic as some other people's hood experience, although I have my own. Okay, it shaped me as well. But other people didn't have a lot of, what I may have had. So it geared them to be harder. And sometimes sometimes energies just don't mix. And I've learned that. And I've learned that when the energies just don't mix, it is my responsibility to just extract myself from that. And if it means that I just don't get to see some of those artists, it just means that I just don't get to see some of them artists. I'm going to, applaud you from afar, because I'm not going someplace where I'm not, I just, especially if I'm going to see an artist showcase, I'm going to be locked in with that artist. I don't want to have to worry about somebody coming and stabbing me in the back. I don't want to have to worry about that. I can't even pay attention to what the artist is doing, because somebody might come hit me in the head with a bottle. I don't want to have to worry about that, or me leaving out the place and now I'm getting jumped by a group of females. No, I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that, because then you have to worry about, now my children got to get involved. You know what I mean? So I done grew up a lot. Because Quisha, y'all, about 10 years ago, Quisha, wouldn't have gave a doggone. Quisha would have been out in the streets. Okay. But it's bigger than me. It's way bigger than me. And I have grown children. Yeah. So we not doing all of that, y'all. So again, just be mindful, but definitely get out because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and I'm happy. June 26th, we actually, myself, Weedy to God, Miana, let me go on her page. We are putting together an event, and it's actually free. If you are a creative, if you are be a part of it. Oh, that's gonna mess up my what's gonna call it, Lord. Okay. If you are an artist or a creative, I'm even putting it out there to the creators, and you would like to be a part of the event, it's free to perform. Again, if you are someone who is up and coming and you need the experience of performing in front of people, then you definitely should take advantage of this because it's free for the artists. The vendors, there's a vendor charge of $30 for food vendors. Non-food vendors, there's a $25 charge. It is happening on June 26th. More to come. It's the First Ward of Lackawanna Showcase, Barbara Ann Peoples' First Ward of Lackawanna Showcase. It's going to be at 143 Stillawanna. If you are familiar with Lackawanna, it's right when you get off the Skyway. Stillawanna is like the third, the third street after getting off the Skyway. Yep. And you just come on down 143 Stillawanna. It's right there. It's a huge outside spot that you can come to and do your big thing. You know, show the world, because again, everybody, you want to develop your stage presence as well, because the plan is to not just be putting music on a track. The plan is to get out there and be touring. So if that truly is your dream, if you truly want to be an artist, a worldwide artist, you should be showing up at things like this. So come on out. Again, it's happening June 26th. If you need more information, you can reach out to any of us down here. This flyer, I'm going to put this flyer up as well. Let me go ahead and share it to my let me share it to my page as well. Yeah, it's upcoming and more to come. This is just something that we are trying to bring to the community. Lackawanna, what I love about my hometown of Lackawanna is that we aren't with the craziness. That's one thing I can say. We are not with the craziness. And I don't know if it's because a lot of us grew up around each other. I mean, we are fighting stuff. We do that. But all that violence and stuff, we just aren't. It's just not our motto. If we've ever had that violence, it came from outside of our community. It did not come within our community unless y'all came messing with us. Okay? Unless y'all came messing with us. It does not normally come from within my community. And yeah, and listen, I grew up in the projects. Okay? Gates Avenue, Dorothy Glover Projects. I grew up right there. Love my projects. I still say it's one of the safest places to raise your child. If that is something that, if you are low income and you need a place to live, definitely one of the best places to raise your kids. It doesn't come without the BS. It does, because everybody has their BS, but it's more fist fights and stuff like that. And maybe you arguing with some parents, because I was one of the moms, y'all. Don't mess with my kids. I was one of I'm laughing now because it was this one incident where my son, he had came home crying, and he was like, "Mom, these big boys keep on messing with me." And I'm looking now, these boys have been terrorizing the kids in the projects because I thought that they were older boys because they were so big, they were so tall. So I go up them stairs. I'm telling them, "Mama, you better get your son because this boy taller than me. I'm ready to box this boy." I'm like, "My son is such and such age." And she gonna tell me, "Well, my son is only 12. I said, this boy had to be about 6 feet tall. Y'all, I ain't telling y'all no lie. At least he felt about 6 feet tall to me. And I'm looking at my son. He's not he's not as tall as this boy, but they only like a year apart. I'm like, this boy cannot be 12 years old. But yeah, he was only 12. He was only 12 at the time. He was y'all. I was ready to box this boy. I was ready to box this boy because, man, you got to, man. Growing up in the projects is hard. It is hard because, again, you have kids who are, low. When you are in those type of environments, you also have to think about that we are living in this place because we do not have the means to live someplace else. On top of that, many times in these places, people are living, man, it's a tough way to live. Like, you don't see too many people living in lower income and they have all the means, even though we want to try and dress ourselves up to make ourselves feel as if we have all of this money, and we're doing it backwards. Like, we should be putting that money in the bank, but we want to make ourselves feel good because we don't like where we're living. Many times there's so many. It's a little bit harder when you have less. That's all I got to say. It's a little bit harder when you have less choice tech. And Naya Denise is a little bit harder. That's all I'm saying, y'all. So just bear with me because I have a soft spot because I know how it is, and this is why I want to give back. I want to become something so great that I can give back to my community because I know how tough it can be. And then I'm, the things that I'm seeing that my goddaughter going through, my goddaughter is going through, and I'm like, dang, I remember that was me. And it makes me so angry because I don't like that they have to go through this all these years later. But I also understand that there's just so much brokenness that they're dealing with. And when you have one parent who's into what their child is doing and cares about what their child is doing, and then you have another parent who could care less. And many times that's what you're dealing with. Because that other parent, it's not that they care less, it's that they're so busy that they don't even have time to deal with this child. They just need this child to do what they need to do because mommy working all these hours, daddy working all these hours. A lot of times it's more mommy working all these hours. Unfortunately, I'm just keeping it real. And when you have these one parent households, it makes it even increasingly tough to control these kids because you got to work 50 hours a week. And then come home, make sure these kids got something to eat, got clothes on their back. It makes it tough. It makes it tough. I know it. I know it does. I watched my mom working, several part-time jobs. And we did not have, it was like she working all of these hours, but it felt like, what was she working for? Just to pay rent and put the little bit of food that we could get on the table. I watched my mom work herself literally where she was dragging, her arthritis had gotten so bad that she was literally dragging her leg. She couldn't even bend her leg. I would have to meet her at the bus stop and help walk her home after she's come from being a personal care aide to somebody. Barely could walk herself. But this is the things that she had to do in order to take care of her family. And it wasn't much, y'all. We were still living in the projects. We were still living check to check. I remember we had a 13-inch television. We didn't have the best furniture or anything like that. That was just my life. That was just my life. So I definitely have a soft spot in my heart for anybody that's coming from those conditions. So what else is going on, y'all? What else is going on? I don't even know if I want to talk about these voter rights. Do y'all even care? Are y'all even in tune with what's going on? Y'all need to be. Y'all really do, because it does affect you. You may not think it does. How many of you out there vote right now? Or this will be your first time voting? How many of you out there voting? Even if you are not watching with me now, and I pray that you watch with me later, let me know in the comments. How many of you have voted, and how many of you are aware of what recently just transpired as far as the Voters' Rights Act? T.E. Dozier. T.E. Dozier is the one I was just talking about. Grand rising to you. Thank you for joining this morning. You are the one that I was just talking about. I definitely, you are one that when I was at this event, T.E. Dozier is his name. I remember him saying that. When I was at the event, I want to know, and I want to talk to you about this. Do you write your material? Because it felt like as I was listening to you, going through your sets, that you were coming from a place where you wrote that. And that's what grabbed me. And that's what made me, like, I was locked in. It felt like it was just me and him as he was doing his sets, because I'm listening to what he's saying, y'all. And I'm like, man, like he talking some stuff, like he talking his feelings. He talking about the things that he's going through. And it sounds great. It's the way he put it into lyricism, the way he was able to put it into a musical composition. To me, it sounded really great. A lot of it. I could tell you wrote it. I can tell you wrote it. That's what grabbed me. I just want to say from me to you that you are doing a great job. You continue to go to those open mics, continue to go to those places where you can get that stage presence up, because I can tell your nerves had got you a little bit, but I can still listen to what you were saying. And I think that what you were saying, man, you were talking, and I listen to music. I listen to music to hear the story. I listen to music to feel that vibe, but I also listen to music to hear what people have to say. And I was hearing a lot of about what you have been going through in your life, and I love it. Just continue doing that. Continue going to those open mics. I just talked about what we have going on June 26th. It's free to any artist out there. Please pass it along, because like I was saying, some of you really need to get that stage presence. Amadi, one of the singers that was there, she has that stage presence. That, listen, she got that smile. She was just moving like she has that. She was commanding the audience. She was. You could not have told this queen that there were not 10,000 people out there. But then you have others who need to get that stage presence. You got it. You got it. Prayers up to you. Continue doing that. Continue cultivating that craft, because you are definitely one of the ones I'm going to be looking out for to see just how well you do and to see if you are serious about this. Because don't take it as, and I'm telling you just from a personal standpoint, y'all, I did not take this as seriously as I thought I was. Because when you take it seriously, you're going to put in those 10,000 hours. Like Rick Hyde said, 10,000 hours you need to put into something to become a master of it. Even though I was like, I'm good at speaking. Like when I get on this camera, I really do come alive. But there's so much more to just doing this than I had anticipated. And that's what I'm working on now. I had to go back to the drawing board at 50 years old. I had to go back to the drawing board. And I'm not ashamed to say it, because this is me being authentic. I'm back at the drawing board redoing the Vet Green Show. You're going to see more to come. I just started going live because I just wanted to get back to doing it and get my algorithm going. But hey, bro, Mike, grand rising to you, bro. Thank you so much for joining this morning. But I am definitely going to be coming. You know, bro, Mike is one that I started with. You know, he put me on to the producers and all of that. And I'm happy about that. But now I need to move on to bigger and better. So I want to produce some podcasts. I'm going to be producing a podcast for bro Mike. You know, he put me on to the producers, and now he's coming back. This is how you pay it forward. When you have somebody bring you in, they tell you what's going on, and then you can pay it forward by helping them out. So I just feel blessed to be able to do this. I truly do. And I love what I do. I really love doing this. I love going out to events and seeing a new talent. T.E. Dozier, you really, the reason why I was so locked into you, because I was listening to what you were saying. And it made me feel alive again. I was like, man, God, like, this is why I'm doing it. Like, I want to go out here and listen to what people have to say. I want to go out here and support these artists. And I want them to in return, support what I'm doing as well. Because when we support each other, y'all, this is how we grow. And the more we continue to support and nurture acts like T.E. Dozier and Shebo Lottie and Winter Peace, what she's out here doing, she's continuing to recreate herself even after getting knocked down. And she's so authentic in what she's going through. You know, whether she's going through some messed up stuff, because she's, again, you're dealing with people in this industry who are not always great, don't always have your best interest at heart, right? AI Hustle Metho don't always have your best interest at heart, but you have to deal with them. That's your lesson, and you move on. So I'm always rooting for the underdog, y'all, because people count me out all the time. People count me out all the time. Latoya said, I've been up since 11 p.m. cleaning, unloading my car. Y'all, they're out there cutting the grass. unloading my car with groceries and putting them up, gathered garbage to put out, and now I'm folding clothes up now. Ooh, don't we be up like that? This morning was not one of the mornings for me, y'all. I was like, man, I contemplated not coming on, but then I was like, nope, I'm not doing that to myself. Even if I had to put my man's hat on, I was like, babe, where your hat at? Give me the Buffalo Bills hat. I need to, because the new growth is real. I'm gonna put this hat on and I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna talk to y'all. So, you know, again, big shout out to everybody who came and did their big thing at the event this weekend. I had a wonderful time. I'm not going to talk about the Voters' Right Act right now. I may or may not make another video, or I may come on later on today, Rules of 19. But I'm glad that I did this. I'm very, very glad that I was able to get on here and talk. Come on now, TikTok. TikTok always giving me some issues. Now you got to drag a puzzle piece in place. Yeah. Toya said, I'm tired, but while the grands are sleeping, I'm getting it together. I know that's right. And congratulations to you, too, for getting that beautiful house. I actually met Latoya Woodley when I was in Delaware. She was, I was at had a medical thing, and we connected that way. And I'm just watching her as she grown, because I remember you telling me what you were going through. Sometimes you connect with people and you don't know how you connected, but it's always God in that, because now I get to watch what she's doing and how she's growing, and remembering our conversations and to see what she's been able to do for herself, you know, in her life. Yeah. Yeah, the Voters' Right Act. Yeah, so maybe I will talk a little bit about it, y'all. So let me get into that, because the one thing I do want to always do is inspire, inform, and educate. I want to do that. So is anyone aware of what gerrymandering is? Because so Buffalo actually went through a redistricting, and I actually had Our Action Buffalo on my show to talk about that, because it's a serious thing. Because what redistricting does, so let me break down what gerrymandering is. I'm a visual person, so I had to break it down in a visual aspect. So basically, imagine you getting this bomb Imperial's pizza, right? And the Imperial, you cut this Imperial pizza where only the people that you like get most of the pepperonis, and then the people that you don't like, all they get is a little bit of cheese, not even a lot. They just get a little slither in the cheese. And you purposely did that. That's basically what gerrymandering is. You cut it out so your people get all the good spots. That's basically what it is. And it's legal, y'all. It's politicians are often the ones drawing the lines, and they do this because they want more votes their way. And they did this in Buffalo, and there was a big fight about it. And I was surprised that not enough people even showed up. So right now, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 has been weakened by the Supreme Court, and here's what changed. Before, you could challenge laws if they hurt minority voters, but now you have to prove that someone intended to be discriminatory. You have to prove it. And that's the part I miss Delaware. I miss Delaware too, Latoya. And that's the part that is hurtful. That's the part that is going to be hard, because now they can be discriminatory, but now you have to prove that they're being discriminatory. Ava and Jana. And y'all know that a lot of times that is hard to do. That's why it's great that we have these video cameras now, where you can prove the effed up stuff that many people have been doing for years. So why this matters, the bigger picture, this is bigger than politics, y'all. It truly is. This is about who gets adequate representation, who gets adequate resources, and who gets heard. We all know places that are very low income that need more resources. They need things like community centers. They need food deserts are real. And who gets hurt? Because now you can redraw the map, and you can reshape the outcome of these elections. So here's my question to you. Are we really choosing our leaders, or are the lines being drawn to choose them for us? That's my question, because it feels like even here in this beautiful city of Buffalo, that's what happened. back in 2022, there was a big debate because of the gerrymandering, and it actually went through. The lines were drawn. So are we choosing our leaders, or are our leaders choosing themselves for us? That is the question that I'm leaving y'all with. And I want y'all to do your own look at what this Voters' Right Act actually did and how this can affect you. They're being drawn, right, T.E. Dozier? They are being drawn. And that's the issue, y'all. We need to pay attention, because when we are fighting for resources and we're saying, well, we need this, and we're looking at these broken down communities, like if you go down certain areas in Buffalo, you see these broke down communities and you're wondering, well, why are these communities not being helped? When you know they need help. When you have to drive miles, you have to have a car to go to the grocery store. How many grocery stores are in the city of Buffalo? On the east side of Buffalo, how many grocery stores? Not a lot. Not a lot, y'all. So just, again, I want you all to think about that as we are closing out today. So even if you are not watching with me now, I hope that you continue to watch with me going forward. And I hope that you subscribe to this channel. So hit that subscribe button if you're watching later. And I love y'all, long life. And y'all keep your minds and eyes open to this world. Your worst critic said, put the money back in your community, care for yourself. I agree. T. Dozier said they're being drawn. They are right in front of our eyes, and we're letting it. We are allowing it. Anytime that we don't use our voice, anytime that we just lay back and we just let people make choices for us, it doesn't become a good outcome for us. T.E. Dozier said, I'm tired, but while the grands are sleeping, I'm getting it together. Oh, he's laughing at what Toya said over here. Yeah. When I make it back to Delaware, I'm definitely going to be looking you up. Definitely. I love Delaware. I didn't like the humidity, y'all, because I stayed swollen. But Delaware is a small but beautiful state. And Delaware, just like Chicago, Delaware did me good. I had a lot of success in Delaware. I had a lot of success in my second home of Chicago. I can't wait to go back, y'all. I cannot wait to go back. It's like, come on home. Come on home. It's funny because I have so much on my dad's side of the family. I have so much family in Chicago. And I didn't know when I had first moved to Chicago that my father, too, had went to Chicago a long time ago to try and change his life. So I tell my one son all the time that, maybe because he looks like my dad. I mean, he looks like his dad, but he also reminds me of my dad because he's one of the shorter of my kids. And tell him, you are probably living out your grandfather's wildest dream. This is what he came to Chicago to change his life, but he wasn't able to do that. But he was able to go to Chicago, and he's going to be graduating on May 14th with his bachelor's degree, married, just recently purchased a house. And I'm so proud of him. I'm like, this is what your grandfather was striving to do. And because, again, when we come from brokenness and we don't fix what's broken inside of us, it just leaks out. It leaks out, and it festers as well, like a cancer. That's why I am intent on, I don't care what age I am going to fix my life. If it takes me my entire life to fix what is broken inside of me, then that is what is going to happen. It's going to take my entire life, but I'm not going to stop working on myself. I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm going to continue to work on myself, and I'm going to continue to be an instrument for God. And I want to be an example of what it looks like after you have been so broken and beat down, of getting back up, y'all. So I love y'all, long life. And I thank y'all all for joining me this morning. Even though I was a little late over here on YouTube, I still thank you. Go ahead and subscribe. If you have not, go to my YouTube page. It's Green Links World Entertainment on YouTube. Subscribe to the page. I know that's right, Latoya. If I can do it, you can too. Listen, you inspire me. When you purchased that house and I'm looking at all that beauty, I'm like, yes, you inspired me so much from a fire queen. So don't think you have now. All of you that's doing y'all big things inspire me. Anytime, I'm not a hater. I am not a hater. Y'all inspire me. Even those people who I didn't get a good vibe from. Y'all inspire me. On the business side, I may not like you as a person, but on the business side, I'm rooting for you. I'm like, yes, do your big one. Do your big one. I may not like you. I may not like your personality, but go ahead and do your big one because that's showing me I can do my big one. Okay, Master Spitter, your worst critic said, big shout out to all the artists and entertainers in Buffalo. Always believe in yourself. Yes, and that's a guy from Brooklyn who is rooting for Buffalo. He think y'all so phenomenal, y'all. So I love y'all. Long life. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day on purpose.
This is a Green Links Media production. Thank you for watching. Subscribe now and hit the bell to be reminded when we go live.